For the first time in Texas high school history, there is a Class 6A for athletics and extracurricular activities.
Now, while most schools in the state will not be affected, some will jump based on a handful of students who are enrolling and affecting those numbers. Fox 4's Calvert Collins is at one of those schools, Highland Park High School, which Calvert actually could see a big change in its opponents next season.
That's right, and it's only a small number of students affecting that. Highland Park has 2,106 students. That is 6 more than the new 6A conference cutoff, and that would make Highland Park one of the smallest, if not the smallest, in the state in this new division, competing against some of the biggest.
Sit.
So we felt like there could be a chance that we would go up.
Highland Park has been on the conference cusp for a few years. The 12-1 Scots are preparing for their playoff game this Friday against Wiley.
I should have DBs out here ready to go.
Since the late 80s, Highland Park has been 4A, playing Mesquite, Forney, Terrell, and other similarly populous schools. Now they could face athletic powerhouses with huge student bodies like Allen, Plano, and McKinney.
There's something to be said about getting an opportunity to compete at the highest level and what that brings out in people, in communities, in schools, and I think it'll do nothing but bring out the best in us.
While sports gets most of the conference attention, the UIL decision also affects music and academic competitions. Here are the new cutoff numbers. 6A will be schools with 2,100 students or more, 5A 1,060 to 2,099, and so on. Six-man football is the new 1A. Grapevine High School is one of the few dropping conferences after enrollment dipped.
We felt like it was coming.
The 1 and 9 Mustangs look forward to playing schools closer in size and geography next season.
When you're at the top end of the enrollment as opposed to the bottom end of the enrollment, that it's going to be, hopefully advantageous for your kids.
Grapevine head football coach Dave Hennigan says bigger schools may have more players to pick from when injuries occur, but he thinks this shakeup will give his players a competitive edge.
It'll be a positive reception, but also with the understanding that the competition is still going to be fierce.
Now, these new conference cutoffs do not affect some sports, including tennis, soccer, swimming, and wrestling, because the UIL classifies them differently. But the schools will find out their new districts in early February, and it will affect seasons through 2016. Heather and Clarice.
Well, and Calvert, if you look at Aledo, that's a really interesting case because they are dominant 4A. But so the school asked to move up, right? Asked the UIL, but the athletic leaders declined.
That's exactly right. In fact, the superintendent had told the Board of Trustees it actually he filed a request to move up, or at least to a more competitive district, but the UIL declined that request. Aledo has beaten every opponent this season by 40 points, and of course we all remember in October a Fort Worth Western Hills parent complained that Aledo's coaching staff was bullying the opposing team, beating them 91-0. But the school is kind of in the middle of 4A at around 1,500 students, so it couldn't move up to this new 6A division. But actually, in fact, schools can ask the UIL to move up in conference, but they can never be allowed to move down. And it's, again, up to the UIL each time.
Gotcha. All right. Calvert Collins live tonight. Thank you.